Right near the inside, and then came Shocking and Sailor Gear passing the 400 metres, and Vigor burst to the lead now. Speed Gifted goes with him, and Heart of Dreams. Ollie's starting to wind him up now, and they're clear from Shocking running on, and then Dan Lee. Heart of Dreams got up level with Vigor. Here comes Shocking on the outside. Vigor, Heart of Dreams and Shocking. Shocking racing up to Heart of Dreams and Vigor. Shocking the cup winner. What a great performance. Shocking wins it by a half. Heart of Dreams. 3/4 Vigor.
That was Shocking, the Melbourne Cup winner, winning the Makybe Diva Stakes
20s.
First up. About 20s, yeah.
Oh, have a look at that.
I think I had a cheeky 5 each way after cricket one day there on that.
Oh,
It was
that's good for
good
you.
times back then. That was a big bet for me. Nearly paid for dinner. What's happening, Beaver?
Oh, mate, it's all pretty good.
Yeah.
Happy days. Good to
Exciting
be here,
times.
mate.
It's Ripper Racing. Just two
it's
exciting
exciting.
cards to do. We were just saying off air that we could probably spend an hour and a half talking about the races and not finding a tip yet. So, 2 tracks to look at. Rosehill Gardens, where the clash of the hot 3-year-olds, the Run to the Rose, has got you excited today.
Yes.
And obviously the Makybe Diva Stakes, as well as a few Group 2 and 3 races down at Flemington. A fantastic day of racing all around Australia. Looking forward to get into it.
It's a good time of the year.
Yeah, fantastic time of the year. You did you take much out of last Saturday and last Wednesday?
Yeah, look, last Saturday we did okay, mate. We got a few winners there. I was probably I was pretty impressed with Surprise Baby's run, to be honest.
Yeah.
Probably should have won the race. It probably should have took the run of the winner, and it got wide, and Humidor got through. So I was filthy. It was a good run, but I was filthy because it cost me plenty.
Yeah. Sorry, I had a crack as well.
Yeah, and then the Burr in the last, is that what the thing that hung on the turn, or they took it 5 wide, and then Credence got up?
Yeah, De Beer.
De Beer.
Yeah,
That was
Credence.
butchered.
Yeah. Good ride from Mick Poy actually on the winner.
Yeah, so
just
that hurt late in the day.
Yeah,
but,
we came out of the gates really strong early. Actually, it was just the tail end.
Yep.
Couple of kicks at the end, but it was ended up just being in front. So
like
all you want, and then scratching sort of crawled any of our tips really on Wednesday. Bit of a wet track. We lost a couple, and
we hit early. I got a couple of good bets early, and then we didn't really have much later in the day.
Yeah, I'll get you just to put your microphone up so we can hear you there, Grant.
I'm better, mate.
That's better.
Let's rip in.
All right, so we're going to kick off at Rosehill. The rail's out 6 metres. It was currently a soft 5, but a great day today. It'll be a good track, which tends to play on pace when the rail's at 6.
Yep.
It's a recipe for success finding the leaders or those up and on with the rail out that far.
Yep.
And we're both in agreement here. We're going to kick off with a winner in the first over the staying race. You can have the honours.
Cadre Du Noir. Is that how you say it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's just going to win.
Yep.
Good win last start. Should be up on the pace, and this is a pretty straightforward assignment for this horse. It's not flash odds, but it'll get the check.
Yeah, it couldn't possibly tick any more boxes. It's going to be leading. It's got J-Mac on, and probably the other Danger's got 62 kilos again, 59 with the claim, but was sort of unimpressive last week, Corcho, and there's nothing else here.
No.
This is barely a midweek race, and it's coming off a 5-length midweek win. A kill, and before that it ran really well in some good stuff on Saturdays. So we're going to both kick off in agreement with Cadre Du Noir.
Race 1, number 3.
Beautiful. And where's your next coming up here, Beaver?
Look, I'll skip the highway. We'll move to race 3, I think, mate. Interesting race. Again, She's Ideal was just no chance last start. The race wasn't run to suit, and it got back, and it wasn't that bad a run. I am a little bit concerned again that it's going to get a little bit out of its ground, but it will be fitter. So I am going to stick with it because I tipped it last start.
Yep.
So I'm going to stick strong and hope that it gets a few favours and can be a bit closer and win this second race at the 420. I think it's probably reasonable odds.
This is a great race to sort of look at as well because I thought Vegas Jewel returned quite nicely in the same race.
Yep.
A horse of ability when it was down with Kavanagh and in some good races. And Badouche, we've both mentioned before, and Quintessa's coming off Oaks placings and has finally had a kill.
Yeah.
Interesting, and New King, you can forgive last start as well. Interesting race there, which is where I struggled to sort of separate them. I think it's one I'll try and build a book around a couple each way. Yeah. And play it race that way. Race 4 is a hot race as well, the clash of Fatous and Masked Crusader.
It's a beauty, isn't it?
Do you have an opinion? Are you starting with either one?
I am going Masked Crusader. I think Masked Crusader will be really hard to beat in this race. it's ready to put its foot down. Best bet of the day for me.
Okay. I hope it does what I said last week when it was scratched, is Clomberry takes it across and leads, because I don't think it wants to be behind for Toos.
No.
The ticks for Toos are, it's going to definitely be in the front half of the field, I would suggest, and 1,100 metres. I think Masked Crusader might be a better horse.
A little bit further.
A little bit further, maybe 1,200 out beyond that. And for Toos is a genuine 1,100 metre rocket. That said, and the trials are awesome. Trial behind Nature Strip and then won the second trial.
Wasn't that awesome then if it was behind Nature
No,
Strip?
it sort of went around, and then it won the next trial.
Yeah.
So I couldn't throw out an opinion either way, but I hope Masked Crusader rolls forward and leads, and then it just puts a stamp on his race if you're going to be taking those odds. You might get a better price.
Yeah,
I think you get a better price.
Okay. Just on Nature Strip last week, that horse struggles when it doesn't lead.
Yeah, it's if you have Nature Strip in the Everest, I think you're hoping it gets control, because if you've got something else there, if you've got one of these stables that might have 2 slots,
yes,
you'd be putting something in just to be a complete pest, wouldn't you?
Yeah,
I know the shots.
Unless it jumps to the front, gets to the rails, and up that rise flies away. It won't run past anything.
No, and it's shown it up twice. Paula Muscle's done it to it twice. He did it last year, and then down the straight last year, I think Paula Muscle was the pest again.
It was
when Loving Gabby and G-Tro went past it again.
Yeah.
When it's left to its own devices, it's the fastest horse in the world.
Yeah.
When it's not, it's less so. It runs sectionals. I know I was listening to some of the sectional guys, which people can find, talk about how it is genuine, freaky times that it runs, but only when it gets its own way.
Yeah.
And anything else. That said, it's first up, it be fitted for the run, and I don't know what other pace, Anders might go to the Everest.
Yeah.
That might be the fly in the ointment.
Geechar impressive because
had it cold.
Yeah, up the rise, he looked a little bit to be stoking it up hard riding, and then when he let down at that 150 mark, he just went bang.
And just had it cold. Just
boom.
Very impressive. Now an elite sprinter. Like, it was a bit of a knockout.
Yep.
Knockout horse for a year, and now it's proven that it's in the conversation for best sprinter.
Moving on.
Speaking of best sprinters, do you have anything before we get to the Run to the Rose?
No, I'll skip race 5, mate, and we'll go to the Run to the Rose.
Tough stuff there.
Have a crack.
The Run to the Rose is again, there's 4 potential stars here as well.
It's a wee ripper.
Maybe 5, because King's Legacy actually won the 2 Group 1s last prep as well.
Yeah.
But Farna's trialled awesome. Rothfire has apparently been scorching turf at track work, everyone wants to tell us. Mama Reagan, one of the runs of the race, chasing Anders last time, in North Pacific, could be a star. So do you have an opinion? And Peltzer, obviously. Do you have an opinion, or are you happy to watch this one?
I'm happy to watch it. If I had to have a pick, I'd pick Rothfire.
Okay.
Which makes me nervous because I've got a massive liking for North Pacific as a horse, but it hasn't raced in this company yet. And Peltzer, while it was disappointing last start, Anders, I think he was happy just to chase Anders.
Yeah, it was. Once Anders got control of that race, it was over. I thought it was a nice run.
Yeah, so I thought it was an okay run. So, look, great race. Really keen to watch it. If I was forced to have a pick, Rothfire, just purely at the odds, Farnan 250, slightly shorter than what I would have wanted, and Waterhouse trains. So, yeah, I'm happy to.
I think the thing about Farnan is, like, both trials were good. Gay, when she has a slipper winner, they tend to become a project horse, so I don't think she'd be running if she didn't think it could win.
No.
Because she's very quick as well with your Vancouvers, and I guess going back your Ha-Has and that. If they've squeezed as much out of them to win the slipper, they go straight to stud.
Yes.
And for her to bring her back, trial the way as, I think she's keen that she's got something here.
Yep.
But interesting to watch. Again, it's a race we can dissect each runner. It's one I struggle to stamp a tip for the punters, I suppose.
Yeah, Rothfire for me if I'm having a bet.
Anything race 7?
Nothing stands out to me to back. I really just can't. I just got to watch Funstar go around.
Yeah, I can't.
Before I fall into it again. Outside of that, there's a few chances. You probably you might, depending on the tempo, you might look at someone like Rainier.
Yeah.
Flash late.
Rainier was one that was good to me last prep. Its trial was very quiet, and I don't know what to make of that. Whether it was just they know she's back up and going.
Yep.
Or he's back up and going, or whether there's not much there. So I'm again, hard race to find a tip in, but I do have a tip here. I want to discuss 2 in the Scirocco, the 8th race of the day.
Yep.
obviously, there's a lot made of Fasika's 2 trials. We'll have control here. Avdullah's riding, especially on pace horses as well as anyone at the moment. But
Fasika lead, you say?
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Especially the way Adelong went last time, I think it'll bully it out of it, and there's not much else. Just by the natural attrition of Shout the Bar probably needs another. Probably doesn't get control at 1,200 metres.
No.
So I think so. The one I want to mention though is HAUT BRION Hoyer, $9. 2 very nice trials as well.
Yep.
And J-Mac has been spruiking his horse actually, but I really love both its trials leading into this. And you break down its form. It's won 5 or 7 in the last year. The 2 losses, one was a neck off Tafane, who came to Sydney and won down in Melbourne, and the other one was Fabric, who's a group quality horse down there as well. I think this is a sneaky good sprinter, and I think $9 is a nice price.
Yeah, just drawn 14.
Yeah,
Field.
So
It's a challenge. You know, you can probably sweet deal 19. You can put a line through that. I'll tell you, at the odds, I like Fasika as well. I thought the trials have been outstanding. Am a little bit concerned. I do think Adelong will try and lead, and that they may go helter-skelter. If that happens, Seasons at $18, $20 is a knockout horse.
In the sweet spot, just 2 back.
Sits behind them, and it was a huge run last start. Should have won, and couldn't get a run, and then sprouted wings late. So, look, that's not. I'd be having a little bit on that.
Does that mean you just want to stay away from that? Because it is Seasons, I'm thinking maybe just stay away from that form. Maybe just it's a drag on the rest of them.
Oh, look, I'll probably back.
But $18, it's a bet or nothing, isn't it? $18, we are talking.
Yeah, I'll just.
I'm not going to talk you out of an $18 bet. You don't have to have much on.
I'll have a few bucks on that.
Yeah.
With my other.
The other interesting one is Mizzy, who's a good horse. I think the stable's just going no good. I don't know but it's $12 as well, and it's matched motors with Fasika all the way through. It's good. It beat her back at Rosehill in this race last year, actually.
Yeah, I think it ran second to
and has formed through Colding, Soothing,
Libertini.
And the Inevitable, yeah.
Yeah.
And trialled behind, between Libertini.
Yeah, it's a good race.
So great race, but it's very much a day that we're going to be. To me, I'll play it a bit like I did last week and try and build a book around 2 or 3 horses in a race and hopefully get a good result if one of them wins.
Yep.
And we'll wrap up the day, Beaver, in another interesting race. Do you have anything in the last?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, what do you like?
16, King Shear.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, really impressed last start. It was a really nice run. It's drawn the inside gates here. And I think getting back on top of the ground certainly...
It's an absolute dry tracker. It's a big horse. Dry track's going to suit. Forgive where it failed on the heavy. It just isn't a wet tracker at all.
Third. It wasn't the worst run
no,
in the world.
No, I guess when it's $1.30, it's hard to stomach sometimes.
The midweek last start, it was a really good win. It was impressive. It hit the line hard. It let down well. The 1,500 metres certainly suits, and I think in what looks to be a fairly open race, around the $6 mark, I think that's good odds.
Excellent. Let's sum up our thoughts in Sydney and get down to the juicy card down in Melbourne. My best value of the day is going to be HAUT BRION Hoyer, around the $9.
Yep.
And my best of the day is going to be race 1 and number 3, Cadre Du Noir.
Yep.
As alluded to earlier. And you are going to make your best Masked Crusader, I believe?
My best is going to be Masked Crusader, and my value is going to come up in the last, King Shear.
Very
around
good.
The $6 mark.
Yeah, tremendous day of racing at Rosehill. It'd be a day I would be keen to bet if we were allowed to.
Yeah.
But I guess we have to make do on the deck.
What about my quaddie?
And you are in charge of the Sydney quaddie.
Yep. So first leg, I'm going to go 1, 3, 5 and 7. Next leg, I am going to go 3, 4, 5, 6. In the third leg, I'm going to go 5, 8 and 13.
Mm-mm.
And we're going to come home a little bit wider. We're going to go 1, 7, 14, 16.
Any combinations there? Did you write that down?
That was 16,
Yep.
48, 196.
196, cool. So about
192, 196, whatever.
about
it was.
25% then.
Yeah, about 25%.
Excellent. Let's get down south to Melbourne.
Let's rip in.
Group 1 Flemington day is always a good day. Some hot races all the way through, which we're both keen to talk about. The main event is the Makybe Diva Stakes over the mile, Group 1. We'll get to that in due course, but we'll kick the day off with a great staying race. I guess the up-and-comer Persan against some more spruiked horses, we'll say.
Yeah.
Are you... Oh, I should say, it is. There is rain expected on a day.
It's good for
Currently good for about 20 mil expected on a day, so it does drain okay, but rain during the day can open Flemington up and make it... I guess you want to get a bit wider during the day, but we'll play that by ear. For now, I'm treating it as a low good track. Good 4, good 5-ish. Hopefully easy enough for anyone to win, if good enough. How are you going to kick off in the staying race?
I'm a bit confused.
Okay.
At the odds in the first.
You think, Persan should be shorter?
I would have thought so. Like Shabu, whatever you want to call him. $2.20. It was a nice run first up, but, it was stepping up a fair bit in distance here, and Persan has just been flying.
Yep.
I mean, you cannot fault the horse, and last start just won with its head on its chest. He was looking around at the 600 going is anything going to come?
Hype's a wonderful thing. I think there's hype on this Shabao. It was a real good run. Actually, I went back and watched it because I was all geared up to tip Persan. And it was actually a better run than I first thought watching it. It really batted away well on pace.
Yes.
First up. This is up to 2,400 metre. Second up, very smart Sydney punter suggests the best lead up for 2,400 metre race is a 2,400 metre race, which Persan ticks that box.
Yep.
And for that reason, I'm going with that. I'm sticking with Persan having had the run over the distance.
Yep.
A lot of these are going from 2,000 up for the first time. And... I mean, WT's the other one had to run, but it's going to be last like it always is, and
it can't be
run home and run third, and has no. So I think 440. I think they start closer to $3 each. You think?
Yeah, I think 440 now is good odds.
It's not going to be longer than that. If it's longer, that's lost a leg in the mounting yard.
Yep.
Shabao, I think starts longer. Wet's no problem for Persan. I'm pretty sure. No, 2 soft winds, and I think it's a good bet over the 2,400 metres. I would say maybe 2 runs' time, I would look at this race differently.
Yeah, me too.
But for now, I think it's right horse, right time, and can get its picket fence back on track.
Yep.
Oh, good start to the day there. The second is a cracking race as well over the 1,400 metres. Some very good 3-year-olds here. I'm going to stick with Immortal Love, though. I really liked its win first up. It was last at the 400 and ducked and weaved and flashed home. I know it was a 5-horse finish across the line, but it had the most to do apart from ranting, who I'll talk about later. And I just think, and then it's the only time it's been out to 1,400 metres, it won by 4 lengths.
Yep.
I think this is a weaker race than it met last time. The only danger, which I'm sure you're going to mention, is Cadre Du Noir.
You got me, mate.
Who's a very nice horse and has been good to us. How do you approach this race?
I've going for Cherry Tortini just on the basis that I've backed it all 3 starts and it's done nothing wrong.
No.
It's freshened up. I think last start it didn't win as convincing as I thought it would.
I thought that was an end of prep run, and I thought it still
found a way to
win. It was a run that had more to offer, but it just sort of the horse had enough, if that makes sense. Probably doesn't.
It does, but it did carry 61 kilos in that.
Yeah.
And
Egan was looking
weight.
after it. For that reason, I thought he rode it quite conservatively.
Yeah, so
with the weight.
It comes back a little. It's freshened up. Comes back a little bit in distance. Gets a little bit of relief in the weights. Certainly, gate 11. If it can get in and get a decent trail, it'll certainly pop out in the straight, and I think it'll be there at the 200.
That's going to be a crack. I think I can see them both coming down together.
Yep.
Coming down to the middle together.
I think it's just whoever gets the better luck in running.
First up 14 is interesting. I'm guessing it's a Derby bound.
Yep.
From that, so definitely a horse to follow one out of this race. The third of the day, another interesting race where I'm quite keen that the favourite's going to be hard to beat, Savatiano.
Me too.
It missed last week. This suits it better. it's drawn for the right run. It's pretty much going to get control here. Spanish Reef will probably lead, give it the same sit it had 4 weeks back when it won the Group 1. And Acadia Queen's Run didn't do it for me first up.
No.
I think this gets all the favours. Zara's a great book. Like anytime Zara's on the blue colours down there, and there's a long tail.
Yep,
I
agree.
I think 2-6 is a good bet. Race 3, number 2, Savatiano.
Yeah, I think it'll start much shorter than that.
Interesting to see if there is money for... I think Arcadia Queen's too short there. It's done nothing for 2 preps now.
I know.
Anyway, we'll move on. Good, we're both against that, and it's when it's taken up a third of the market, you got to get excited about backing something else.
Yep.
Great sprint race, race 4.
Yeah.
An opinion here? I know there's one of yours here.
Tofane.
Yep.
Yeah, good horse. Been trialling well. It's drawn in 3. Oliver aboard. It'll be hard to hold out. It's not a super difficult race. Zutori's second favourite. It's
Zutori's gone at
fresh.
Zutori's such a sprue course. You want to see it actually do something.
Yeah, that's right. He flew home first up last prep, second I think.
The Oakley Plate.
Oakley Plate.
Yeah.
And beat Tofane home I think in that.
You can forgive that though. It was just one of those.
It ran really well. In its last race.
I think Tofane grew a leg going to
Jack
Sydney.
Smith,
I'm taking it as a different horse once it got to Sydney.
Yep.
It's had a jump out and gone really well fresh, and it's been backed already.
Yep. $3.70 is good odds.
Yep. I'm with you. I'll be backing Tofane. I'm with you. Race 4, number 1. I'm going to have a small saver on Banquo each way.
Yep.
I liked its first up run. It actually was under double wraps the whole way around for Oliver. I wish, if you watch that replay, I wish he'd actually let it run.
Yeah.
You do go back up the straight last prep, and it led up Bivouac, Lavin Gabby, and the Newmarket field, and only got called in the last 100 or so.
Yeah.
Held on quite well. I hope they let it roll. And I think it'll give him something to chase. I think it can run a place, if not, be a knockout chance there at about $11. So that's the way I'll be playing with those two. But another exciting race.
On to the next.
Race 5.
The winning edge.
It is the winning edge. Have you got a winning bet?
I'll probably just watch this one go round. It's really hard to get a line on a couple of these that are resuming and where they're at the prep over the 1700.
Yeah.
But I think there's some nice horses here. Obviously, Shot of Irish didn't really go round last start.
I thought with Dwayne Dunn, who unfortunately broke his neck after he went up in the barriers there, Shot of Irish.
Yes, it wasn't good.
No.
So obviously they're putting that back around. So it'll probably take up the pace or near enough to, and make sure there's plenty of speed on. And then you've got 3 really nice stayers, I think. Act 2, Django Freeman and Toffee Tongue. All really, really good horses, all probably working towards a big spring.
I like Toffee Tongue's return.
Yeah, it was good, wasn't it?
And obviously they think Actor is a bit untapped.
Yes.
Again, I'll be watching those 3. Django Freeman, I think, has got to prove something now.
Yes.
Because its 2 runs are okay.
Oh, just okay.
But the form around it it's still only Saturday form. If they're heading towards a cup, you'd want to see something more. Probably has pace here. Good idea is a good wet tracker at the 30s. It's been really honest, but it's not a race I'm happy to watch. A race I'll if I get double figure odds around a couple, I'll back each way. But nothing here I can really spruik with any confidence.
No, same.
Unlike the 6th race of the day, where I'm a little bit keen here. 2 we've got to mention. Windstorm, are you with it? The favourite?
Best bet.
Okay. Talk us through that then.
Oh, look, I think its first run in Victoria last start was pretty impressive. Charged home.
Had Flemington 1400 metres written all over it.
Yeah, it did, and it gets that. I think the long Flemington straight's just going to suit. I think it's going to be coming down the middle of the track and be super hard to beat. I just can't see anything else beating it. It looks like a very winnable race for me.
I agree. The Cornella horse is Romancer.
Romancer, yeah.
Good Flemington horse. Course and distance, 6 starts, 1-2-2. It will be honest here. It gets the right run from gate 6, and a few of these might want further. A few of these are a bit out of touch.
Can you see the return of Furion
Yeah,
a few
well,
of those.
when I get to my quaddie, Fearing goes in the quaddie.
Yeah.
But it's, beyond that, I'm keeping that race fairly simple.
Yep.
The Group 1 Makybe Diva Stakes, as we've said, a race won by the likes of Shocking, coming off a Melbourne Cup win. Who else has won this? We've had Latorio on its return, Faulkner, Southern Speed. A good horses race, a very interesting race. Do you want to kick off? Or?
No, I'll leave it to you, mate. Turn.
There's two here I want to back. I am really keen. Fierce Impact. I think this is there are a lot of stayers resuming, heading on to other things. Russian Camelot, potentially the best horse in the race. I think it's got bigger fish to fry. Fierce Impact resumed really well. Half a length off Very Elegant, and the horse that ran in the second to Very Elegant, whose name just escapes me, 3 weeks back, and beat home Mr. Seawolf, who came out and won last week. Second up last prep, it won the second off last prep. It only got beaten by Tiaku Shark. Before that, second up won the Turak, so no problem. Melbourne way going, any rain's fine, and I think it's here to run well in a one well, like how Romantic did for us last week. Run it well over the mile. I'm pretty keen to back it actually, because I think there'll be a sprue crush. If Russian Camelot wins this, it's a superstar. Maybe it is, but I'm just working on it maybe being a very good horse rather than a superstar.
Yep.
The other one I really want to back is Kingswell Dream. Is flying, miles fine. It's up and going instead of some of these stayers resuming, and was one of the best run on in that Savatiano race. And I think you can get $10. Yeah, $10. So they're the two I'll be playing in that race. Number 4, Fierce Impact, and number 7, Kingswell Dream. How about yourself?
Dalasan for me.
Yeah.
I like first up, ran second to Behemoth. Last start it was third. It was in a pretty average field in Adelaide, but just got hooked at the start. Couldn't get a run. Was just given no chance. Yep. Just put a line through that. I thought its run was good when it got clear. It's certainly up to this class, and I think the 1600 it's suited to that now, and I expect it to run really well.
Disappointing, yeah. It will. I'm just looking, it suits 4-year-olds here. Disappointing to no 3-year-olds had a crack, because you'd be pretty keen to back a couple of these 3-year-olds going around even in Sydney tomorrow in this race. But no knock on that at all. I think around you're getting $10 to find out. And obviously we see the Melbourne Cup winner there. We see Russian Camelot, who is probably one of the Cup's favourites at the moment. And Master of Wine will be heading towards a Cups campaign, I think. So very interesting race. I've said that 3 times now. And interesting race, and one for the future as well.
Let's get on to the next.
Race 8. I'll open this one as well. I'm pretty keen to top weight. Prague.
Yeah.
Sydney form. The trials are both very good. It takes down essentially A-grade Sydney form on King's Legacy in Farnham, and
I think
there's a long tail.
Slightly better than that.
It gets control. I think John Allen will go forward and be close to leading, and I think is a great bet at 460. The danger is Ranting, who came home alongside Immortal Love in that race 2 weeks back. Very good run. Also still a maiden, but I think they're the 2 best horses, and they're the 2 I'll be playing there. Happy to play around a Queensland horse, and when we get to our quaddie, I'll probably throw Tidius in just as a
good win last. First 2 runs have been good wins. It's
one for my quaddie, but not necessarily on a back. But Prague, if you can get $4, $5, pretty excited to back it.
Yeah, I'm with you, mate. No arguments there.
And then absolute gala to finish the day.
Forget it.
Yeah, that's going wide in the quaddie. Can't add much there. Pick any one of them.
Yeah.
To your best.
Moving on.
So to wrap up Melbourne, an exciting day down there. Give us your value.
My value is Dalasan, $9.50, $10 at the moment. Happy to go play that each way.
Yeah, I'm going to make my value Romancer.
Yep.
More race 6, number 9 Romancer, about $15. I think it'll run a place.
Yep.
My best today is going to be Savatiano.
Yep.
Beautiful run, gets pretty much race run to suit, and was dominant last time.
And mine was Windstorm, race 6, number 14. Nice bets. I might take an all up with your best and my best, Daggy.
I think that might be a good way to play. I'm going to throw out a quaddie. I'm actually going with 2 quaddies here, but I'll explain better in a sec. I'm going to go wide one, just for a bit of luck here. 2 Fury and 3 Iconoclasm, 8 Yulong January, 9 Romancer, 12 Adelaide Ace, 14 Windstorm. Into Fierce Impact, Kingswell Dream, Russian Camelot, Perfect Jewel, who we didn't mention, Prague, Ranting, Tidius, and Anavisto. Home with Mildred, Let's Be Glam, Minhaj, Forever Free, Parlophone, What's That, Peggy, Celine, and Jenny's Rainbow. $50 gets you just under 6%, but you get 3 splits there, and it's going to pay, as it did last week, 20 grand. But I'm also I'll take a smaller one with Windstorm 1 out and Prague 1 out.
That's a good idea.
So that'll be closer to, $10 gets you 30%. So you can split it that way if you get it, and that way you're still making a profit on maybe a smaller investment.
Yeah.
You want to go north? We said you'd go up north and see what you like there. What have you got?
3 up north.
Are you going to tip Alligator Blood?
Yeah, it'll probably win.
Probably win, but
$1.80. It's not bad.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Who's it going to beat?
Not
I'll put you on the spot. No, $1.80 seems.
$1.80. The Odyssey, $4.40. Just on $6.50. I mean, seriously, it should beat those running backwards.
Yes.
61 kilos. It's got to give him 6 or 7. It should be giving him 16 or 17. I would have thought.
Yep. But who was the 3 you had actually? Before I cut you off, I agree. It'll win.
Yeah. So the first, my first bet comes up in race 1, number 6, Trengganu, about the $3 mark. My next one comes up, which was my best bet, about $4 last start, but it comes up at about evens. Money was in the second is number 7, Amici, and I think I only had 2 actually, Daggy.
No, that's fine.
And Alligator Blood was obviously.
When I preempt you.
Yeah, no, Alligator Blood was my other one that just looks like it'll win at $1.80, but I wasn't overly worried about that. The first 2 races, 1 and 2, is where you're going to get your money.
Yeah. And I said I'd check out Adelaide, and I've got 2 there. The first, we'll start the day with a winner as well. Smoking Val around $2.70. With nice debut, and doesn't have much to beat here. Race 8, number 1, Dexalation, about $3.80. With Jess Eaton, who's gone over there and is flying, will be the other Adelaide tip for the day.
Nice one.
Good job, mate.
Happy day.
Good to see you. We'll look forward to a beer and a bet on Saturday Arvo.
Yeah,
sound all right?
Yeah, mate.
Until then, we are at. We'll find a place. We can do it here. We might go to the pub. I don't know kids.
Okay.
We can talk about this off air.
Yeah.
Because on air I need to plug Pro Grip Racing.
Yes.
So do you want to do this? You're good at that.
Good
Pro
at
Grip
that.
Racing. Check that out. The website's there. Big shout out to the boys looking after us. All the news, interviews, some stories, some feature stories, some good stuff up there I was reading today. Check that out. We're there twice a week, midweek and the Saturday previews. Plenty going on there. Give us a follow on YouTube. Give us a follow on Facebook. Leave some feedback. Tell us we're a bunch of gibbering idiots if we need to be told. Or give us a pat in the back. We find you a winner. Good luck this weekend.
Happy days.
Bet safe, and we'll see everyone next week.
Love your work.
Catch you, mate.